Hi everyone, Jacqueline here. So today it's not very nice outside. I was going to go outside and do a video and do some pruning and things like that, but the wind is absolutely brutal. I'm sure we're in a wind warning right now. So I decided let's start some flowers that should be started fairly close to the date that you're going to plant them out. Basically, I'm looking at Shasta Daisies. Now, these are an old-time favorite, cottage garden favorite, I should say. Zone 4 plants, so zone 4 and up. You see them in a lot of gardens here in Saskatchewan, everywhere. They were usually very plentiful. They are a perennial. I have not had any luck with them being perennials, but in a lot of areas, once you get them started, they will come back year after year and they will sell seed. So to get these started early, because I struggle with them in the garden, we're going to start them inside. Now, I'm not going to start all 3 packages. I always buy extra packages of seeds because I can do some inside and I can direct sow others outside. So we're going to do 1 package here, and I have my tray here and my cells, and over here I have my soil. And once again, it's Pro Mix because I've had so much of it all mixed up. So this is just a Pro Mix soil that I've added perlite to, and I just add handfuls of it to until it's a consistency that I want and mix it in. In this case, I'm going to add some Shake and Feed Ultra Bloom to it because these are Shasta Daisies and it won't hurt them and it'll help get them started. And we'll just mix it right in the soil here. So I'm just going to pour some in here. And then we're going to fill these trays. So I use a wooden spoon to mix up rather than get my hands in there. They'll be in there soon enough. My nails are pretty crappy right now and I tend to cut them low because I get dirt underneath them all the time. So anyhow, we'll get our hands in here and get dirty. So I really like Shasta Daisies for cottage gardens or in gardens in general because of the white flowers. They have a beautiful white flower, daisy flower with a yellow center, so they really brighten a garden. So if you're doing a moon garden, Shasta Daisies are the way to go. And once again, the more you prune them, the more flowers you're going to get. So I kind of treat them like I would a Cosmo, and then you keep getting continuous blooms on them. And I don't mind if they self-seed because they're so beautiful and they do draw the eye into the garden. If there's one thing I've learned about flowers, it's that you need white in your borders to draw the eye in. It gives it depth and it brightens the border, particularly in the evening. I never found these very scented, which is fine. I just plant them strictly due to their height and their color. Now, let's get some information off of these. So you can see here that they're single flowers, white, buttery, yellow centers. They're magnificent. They're very reliable plant for most people, not for me. I don't know, they probably didn't like my clay soil, so an amendment will be required. They take 10 to 20 days to sprout. You want to see them 3 millimeters deep, so we're going to lightly cover them with a bit of soil, and they should be 6 millimeters apart. Well, we're putting them seed packet cells, so that won't be a problem. And I can't seem to talk again. And they're going to get about 14 inches high, which is a nice knee length. So they're perfect for the middle of a border. And they're going to bloom July till frost. So these are a good, reliable flower. And like I said, they're a great addition to the garden. So let's start with filling the seed cells right here. I've got them all out here separate. I'm going to reuse these. There's one in these I am not going to use. So there's one hole I am not going to fill. See if I can find it here. There's one that's actually busted, but I'm going to use the rest. Try not to waste anything. If you ever try buying these seed cells separately, they're a little bit on the pricey side. Anyhow, as we go along, I'll find the one that's got a hole in it. But it's got a hole all the way through. There it is. You can see it right there. So that one we're not going to use, but the rest we will. So let's spread these out and start filling them with soil. And I'm just reusing stuff I have that I use year after year. When I buy plants, I try to save to keep the cost down so I can spend my money on seeds and on plants and bulbs. That works really good. All right, let's fill this up. All right, let's have a look at this seed and see what we have now. And these seeds, just so you know, I got these at a buck or two, one of the dollar stores. And they've been really good seeds. I've had some from there before because they have vegetables and a variety of things. Very common seeds, but they work great for what we're doing. So I like to buy some expensive seeds and some cheaper seeds. So that's what they look like. So they stand out not too bad. And I'm just gonna switch them to my other hand. And we're just gonna basically take them and I'm just gonna drop them in like this. And then I'll come back and push them in and cover. And the odd time you get a little lump of dirt like this, so I just pick it out and smear it over and just put one in. These are easy to handle. I can seed them fairly easily, so that's good. And the odd one I'll get more that I'll have to thin. If I need to use another package, so be it. Some of the old-time favorites, perennial seeds, flower seeds, you can find them at places like dollar stores and that. That's where you're going to find some of the common seeds, which is great. Because then you can save a couple dollars and you can get extra seed, which I like to have for direct sowing. That's just something that I do. You can also, by direct sowing and starting early, you can stagger your blooms, which is really nice. And then your blooms go on longer throughout the season. So that's what makes it really nice. Just a few left here. See if I can stretch them out. I did drop a few extras in a couple cells, so I'm just going to open up another package and take a few out so that I can complete that. And then I'll just tape it up and use the rest outside. There we go. Make sure I've got it all covered. All right, so that's a good job done. Now we're just going to cover them over. So I'm just going to go in and carefully push them in and then cover them over. I'm not really worrying about the depth that I'm pushing them in. You know, seeds like this will survive. And I also classify Shasta Daisies along with bachelor buttons for old-time favorites, and cosmos in that category too of old-time favorites that I think are a must-have in any cottage garden. So let's just get these done. And then we are going to water them in. And any hole that sinks too far, I can top up a bit. All right, now we have these all planted. I've made the label, so we're just going to stick that in. These are going to go underneath the grow light, and I haven't been using a humidity dome on these. I've been just keeping them moist. Normally I do, but I find this soil holds water a lot more than a traditional seed starting mix. So I have kind of moved away from the dome just because of that. I do have some more seed starting mix that I finally picked up, and it is a Pro Mix variety that I am going to give a try, an actual seed starting mix, and we'll see how it goes. But for now, this is sufficient, and we will put these under the grow lights, and I will just monitor the moisture levels on them. And hopefully, in about 2 weeks, we will have some seedlings, and then we'll let them grow a bit more, and probably start hardening these off pretty fast so that we can start working in the garden. And I don't have a lot of white in the back garden, so I'm thinking for the cottage area, which I want to take the front bed along the cottage area and expand it out, that these would be a nice touch in there for that cottage look and feel. There we go, all watered in. So that's it. I will move these under the grow lights and they are good to go. So let me know if you have Shasta daisies in your garden. Love to hear from you and how successful you have been with them as a perennial from year to year. And let me know in the comments. Thanks everybody for watching. See you in the next video. And hopefully we might be able to get outside for the next one. Bye.